Welcome to another In Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In Wheel Time car show that airs live every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central. Shield.com.
I'm learning. Somehow, some way. I don't know how. This is your favorite go-to spot in podcasting and live streaming.
Yep.
It's the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, Consumer Reports. No, I already read that.
You did. It's okay. He's learning.
It's practice.
I'm practicing.
Practicing.
Okay. Coming up, something is awry here. I don't know. But coming up, we're going to have Nancy Nichols, author of Women Behind the Wheel. Okay? And later on, we're going to talk to John Rawson at Barber Motorsports Park. We're going to have the cruise-in calendar. We got a car review. We got it all here on the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Hey, good morning to you, everybody. Along with Mike out of this world, Mars, we always need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Screwing it up left and right, but you know what? That's just the way that it goes sometimes.
We're back in the studio.
We're back in the saddle again, ladies
Feels good.
and gentlemen. All right. Joining us now is Nancy Nichols. And Nancy, good morning to you.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Can you hear us?
Excellent. Good morning.
Good morning. So the name of the book is Women Behind the Wheel. Is this a racing publication? Is this a racing centered book?
No, not entirely. Here, I have a little picture of it. It's called Women Behind the Wheel.
Okay.
I'm very proud of it. It is a personal history of my experience with cars, which would be probably very different than your experience with cars. And I did not race. My brother raced. I did some street racing, but it's not essentially a book about racing. It is more about how
we're going to get to the book in a minute, but I want to know about your street racing.
I do too.
I'm going, she did some street racing.
What did she drive?
What were you driving when you had a little street race?
So I had a very old Chrysler Beater. It was, but it had a big engine. We did very well together. I grew up in Illinois, on the Illinois-Wisconsin border, so there was a great deal of rural.
You're not from Beloit, are you?
No, I'm from Waukegan, Illinois.
Okay, Waukegan. Well, I'm from Waukesha, Wisconsin, so there's that.
There you go. So was south of the Nash Rambler plant. That was right up.
Yes, you were. Did you ever buy a Nash?
No, my grandmother had a Rambler, but no, I'm not that old really to have a Nash.
Well, no, you can't say that because you could be in the collector car market, and there are people that are into those, and God bless them. I saw an article just recently in one of my publications, and the man was the original owner of a Rambler station wagon that is completely unrestored, and all he's done is just maintain it all of these many years. It looks like it, but that's okay. It's cool. It's got the patina on the outside and all of that. I'm just saying, there's your opportunity. If you want one, we can fix you up and head you in the right direction.
I appreciate that.
Yes, okay. All right, so tell me about the book, Women Behind the Wheel. Obviously, it's going to be more centered, more geared to women.
Right. It's about women's experience with the car. It's about how the car helps shape what it means to be a modern woman. It talks about, for example, the suffragists were the first to use the car for political action. They draped their cars with bed sheets, essentially, with their slogans. And those became the precursor to what we now know as, the political bumper sticker. So women have used the car pretty much since its inception. Bertha Benz, who of course was married to Wilhelm Benz of Mercedes-Benz, was the first to take the car on a road trip. She just got up one morning. She was bored with her husband and how long it was taking him, and she took it to her mother.
Yeah, she stole it. As the story goes, she stole it. Yeah.
She stole it. She absolutely did not have permission to take it. And it was somewhat dangerous because there wasn't like there was a gas station at that point, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, this is back in the day when women were highly restricted on a lot of things, like voting, for instance.
Correct. That's why the suffragists used the car. I mean, women couldn't get their own car loans until the mid-1970s without a father or a son.
Wow.
Mid-70s?
The Equal Opportunity Credit Act was in the mid-70s.
See,
I didn't know that either.
I didn't. Was totally unaware of that. You know, those are the kind of things that they just didn't teach in school. Not that I was in school in the mid-70s.
I was going to say,
but
some of us were out of school.
Shut up,
before
Mike. Shut up, Mike. We don't want to go there. But you're telling me things that I did not know.
So I really think it's interesting because my father was a car salesman, my brother drag raced, to really think about the car. And my experience of the car was so different from my father's and my brother's. I was not allowed to take shop class, for example, even though we had an excellent shop department in my high school. Girls were just not allowed.
Well, that's the case at my school. Girls were not allowed
they
in
were
shop
in home
classes.
ec.
Oh, no, not mine.
I was in home ec too.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we weren't allowed to take home ec.
Oh, well, that would
Well,
be
you burned
Oh,
the school down when you did
that's
that,
right.
Mike. But
Anyway,
we could
go
do
ahead.
that.
I'm sorry. We get sidetracked here.
No, it's the same. So you would have had a very different experience with the automobile than I did. And that has become an issue for the industry, right? Because women have always been involved in the purchase decisions. We can say at least since probably 1920s, but definitely post World War II, women were a big part of how people bought their cars and what they bought. But the car companies, and you know this far better than I do, they had to appeal to men. You know, that there's a saying in the industry that a woman will buy a man's car, but a man will not buy a woman's car. And in that,
I could see that, but you know, in my generation, I mean, my dad always included mom in the car purchase. Mm-hmm. Honey, do you like the car?
Yeah,
I like the car. Okay, we'll buy it then. All right. Well, that was the way that it went. But I also know that, you know, there are some professions, mainly male-dominated professions, that, for instance, a truck. I mean, my experience with trucks back in the day, it was only guys that drove trucks. You never saw a woman driving a truck because that's what they were for.
Well, unless you were in a farm or something.
Well,
then,
there's that, yes. But generally speaking, you know, I can't speak for the farmer and what he did with his daughters. And did he teach her how to drive the truck? Is that where they learned how to drive? You would know better than I, Nancy.
well, rural women specifically learned quite early because they had to use them for work. I mean, when we think of, so I'm in the Northeast, and when we think of mud season was a thing. It lasted for 3 weeks, and your truck would get stuck. So the operation of a vehicle, especially if you think about it before power steering and before power brakes, and certainly before the electric starter, these were things that required a great deal of strength to start a car, to move a car, if a car got stuck, to push a car out of the snow or the mud. So women's experience with cars was just very different than men's.
Well, ask my mother, because she'll tell you when right before I was born, Dad bought their first car. It was an old, dilapidated DeSoto, okay, a DeSoto. You might not even know what a DeSoto is, but they were around back in the day. And the thing had a starter issue. And so my dad taught my mother how to take the broomstick and a hammer, put it right on the starter, give the broomstick a whack that was on the starter down there, and by golly, it would start it every time. So Mom was a mechanic and didn't know it.
Yep.
Yes. I mean, women by necessity had to learn to work the vehicle. I mean, and there are some amazing stories. The Queen of England was called the Princess Mechanic because she worked on vehicles during World War II. But by and large, it wasn't the experience of most women that they worked on their cars.
Well, I would believe that. And boy, things have certainly changed because now we have women on NHRA top fuel drag racing teams, mechanicking,
CEOs of companies.
Yes.
Automotive companies.
Yeah, exactly. So things have changed dramatically, and I think for the better. I'm a girl dad. I have 2 girls, and I've taught them everything that I knew about cars to a point that they could relate to. Katie's very good about maintaining her car, making sure that the oil gets changed and that sort of stuff. And I taught her how to drive a 5-speed manual transmission, which she still has that car today and drives it every day. Crank windows, crank windows aren't even available anymore as far as I know. So there's that aspect of it as well. I'm sorry I interrupt you, but please continue on.
No, I mean, I think that's laudatory, but that was not the experience, certainly, of women in my age. But as you say, the things have changed dramatically. Mary Barra is head of GM. The engineer who rolled out the electric version of the Ford F-150 is an Asian woman. So women are more involved, but it isn't the case yet that I think the auto industry thinks about women as much as perhaps they should.
Do you have anything that's really fun, or things that when you were doing the research on the book that you thought, how weird or how fun or how strange was that?
So one of the things that really was remarkable when I researched the book is how much the car changed the nature of romance. And courting and dating was very much something, and you'll appreciate this as a father of 2 daughters. It happened on the front porch. It happened with the mother in the parlor. When you were romancing someone, the gentleman came to the female's house and was there, right?
Yes.
But when the car showed up, things changed dramatically. So it took romance from the front porch essentially to the back seat.
Oh.
And I say in the book, nothing except the birth control pill has done more for women's sexual liberation than the car. Now, of course, that was a double-edged sword because it also exposed women to a great deal of sexual violence. So it's a mixed bag. The car, in so many ways, gave independence to women, and in so many ways, made them more vulnerable.
Yes, I would believe that. There aren't any drive-in movies anymore. Well, very few. But I know that I took a few girls to the drive-in movie. I'll just leave it at that.
There is a whole section in my book on drive-ins and drive-in everything. I mean, and we saw, it was really interesting during COVID that we saw the resurgence of this, right? Because we as older adults I remember going to the drive-in movie. And I remember going, when we first had the drive-in at McDonald's, that was like a big thing. But then with COVID, we saw the resurgence of this, people parking their cars to see a movie. We had drive-through funerals. We had drive-through weddings where there was. So it really brought us back.
Yes, it certainly does. Matter of fact, Jeff and I and his wife and my girlfriend, we would go to our regular eating place on Friday that was closed. You couldn't go in the dining room, but you could order it on the phone and you would go and pick it up. So it was kind of a makeshift drive-through because they don't really have a drive-through at this particular restaurant.
Out to the curb.
Yeah, and they would send it out to the curb and with the waiter and give them a tip and be on our way. So yeah, I can totally relate to that.
And I don't know if you are on like Instagram or Facebook, you see all these confessional videos and they all happen in the car.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm. I didn't think of that, but yes, you're right.
Very true.
So there are 2 things I think about that. And one, I think, is that it's simply the audio is so much better in the car because there's soundproofing in a car.
Right.
But second, I think it is that kind of simulated intimacy that we have of driving the car. When we're in the car, a lot of conversations happen in the car that, don't happen elsewhere because there's nothing else to do. And I think that that's part of why people are going to their cars to make these videos, and they're remembering maybe times that were earlier, or maybe it's kind of a simulated intimacy is what I call it.
It's a safe
level of privacy.
It's a safe space.
A safe space.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's also one that you would not want any of the things that you were in the car by yourself. The things that you would say either to yourself or to other drivers, you would never want it to get outside of the car. Not all of them, but many of them. You so-and-so, or
Oh, that was you?
Right.
that was that was me. But that goes across the sexes, so it's not just related to women here. But I'm sure that, there are a lot of similarities between men and women when it comes to that sort of stuff and the privacy of the car.
Absolutely. I mean, I have a boy, I have a child who's almost 30 now. He was a soccer player. I drove a minivan. It was a Honda Pilot. It was a vehicle that was really designed for women to have dual roles. I've always worked. I was a very active mom, very hands-on. And if you put those boys in the back of the Pilot, you didn't have, or the Pilot or your Honda Odyssey, you didn't have to say anything. They would talk amongst themselves. It was the only way sometimes for a mom of a boy to really get that insight into what was going on.
So it's an educational process for mom by what mom is driving, so you could just listen to everything that was going on. It wouldn't eavesdropping because the boys knew that you were up there driving the car.
Right.
But I don't think that, speaking from the experience, I really didn't use or have mom in my mind when I had conversations with my friends. Mom just
Right.
listened in.
So there is a concept in car culture, which is automotive maternity, which is the inside of the car is essentially very womb-like. It's engineered to be soundproof. It's designed to make you feel safe. There are the cup holders. I mean, I know you know that some vehicles have upwards of 15 to 19 cup holders.
Yes.
You always have that warm milk kind of feeling. So there's a lot of research about how we feel when we're inside our cars. And, as you know, nothing in the manufacture of a car is an accident. They know what they're doing when they create these cars, and they're going for certain experiences.
It's funny you should say that because Mike and I both, well, I can't speak for him, but I can speak for myself, was a member of the auto writers here in the state of Texas for a while. And we got to meet many of the car designers from the different manufacturers. And through the years that we would be invited to these reveals of these different cars, they would always bring in women that were, and not on purpose women, but they were the ones that designed, for instance, the infotainment system. I remember the lady that helped design the Ford Sync system.
Yes.
Very intelligent, and it was wonderful talking to her. But it's a completely different aspect of that infotainment system that she pretty much coordinated the design of, because she was female, and there were a lot of feminine touches that were designed into that particular system at that time that us guys really don't think about. And it's the intimate details of this infotainment system that made it easier for us, for everybody, to actually go in and operate it. And she was the one that designed it. Of course, there was a lot of input from a lot of people, but she was the one that ultimately made the final decision. So those kinds of things, and also in the design area, we met some interior design women that were really into automotive interiors, and very, very talented people. So I hear where you're coming from, and I thoroughly enjoy it, being a dad.
So there's a long history of this. There were women, about 8 women were brought on by Harley Earl at GM. They were called the Damsels in Design.
Cool.
And they were first women to go in. They were from Pratt, which is a design school in New York City. They were allowed to go in and design the interiors of automobiles. Specifically, some of their concept cars were specifically for women. They're credited with the first seat belts, the first rear windshield wipers, and other things that are very common in cars now.
It's interesting you should say that because, and excuse me for interrupting, but Mike, we've been to the Chrysler Museum when it existed.
Yes.
Down in the basement, they had a wonderful display down there. And one particular car down there was designed specifically for females, and it was called Femme, F-E-M-M-E.
Oh, the Chrysler La Femme. I love it.
Yes, it had.
Actually, I think it's a Plymouth, the Plymouth La Femme. That is the car I want.
Well, let me tell you something. If you could find one of those, buy it, because you'd be a rich woman.
One of one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
But it had, the tissue dispenser, the mirrors, the record player, and all of these touches that were in it that a guy wouldn't even begin to think about. But it was clear.
The makeup case in those cars fits into the back of the passenger side seat, and it's a keystone shape, and it has your initials in it, and you can slide it out.
See, you've done your research on the same car. I hear you.
I love that car. I love that car, and no, I can't afford it.
Exactly. Well, I find this all very interesting, and it's great to talk to you. Women Behind the Wheel, and is it coming out this week?
It is out March 4th. So here it is.
Oh, Monday.
So is it like on Amazon or?
It's on Amazon.
Very good.
Yep.
Yeah, by Pegasus Books. So if you're looking for a present, a gift, or even for yourself, I would encourage you, since you're listening to this car show,
read.
absolutely. Yeah. Women Behind the Wheel. Nancy Nichols, it's a pleasure, honor, and fun to talk to you.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You do the same. All right. It's the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show, and we're available 24/7 through the iHeartRadio app. Just look for In Wheel Time Car Talk. We also video stream our 3-hour weekly show on Facebook, YouTube, and InWheelTime.com. And podcasts from your favorite podcast provider are available as well. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show continues right after this quick break. Oh, let's try that again.
Pro-Am Auto Accessories has been serving Houston's auto enthusiasts since 1984, providing world-class products for sports cars, European sedans, and American muscle. Pro-Am is known as the place to go to find exclusive and hard-to-find parts and accessories. Pro-Am is one of the very first distributors in the USA for brands such as Recaro, Redline, Momo, Corbo, and Simpson. Located in the heart of Houston's premier retail and service corridor, the Galleria area, Pro-Am's walk-in storefront includes an 8,000-square-foot warehouse, showroom, and installation bays. Pro-Am not only sells parts and accessories, but also offers installation and service. Pro-Am is now reaching a worldwide audience through Pro-Am.com, taking its local reputation to the rest of the world. At Pro-Am Auto, you'll be dealing with a small group of professionals who truly want to help you with your automotive needs. If you don't see what you're looking for on the website, call and Pro-Am will lend you a hand. Pro-Am Auto, 6125 Richmond at Green Ridge in Houston's Galleria area. Call them at 713-781-7755. Want to feel good about something special you did for someone special? In Wheel Time and the original Lupi Tortilla group of Tex-Mex restaurants have joined together to help a very worthy cause, God's Garage, a Christian-based 501c3 charity. We know there are lots of places and organizations out there where you can donate a car, truck, or SUV, but we're asking you, our car enthusiast family, to consider donating to God's Garage. Visit godsgarage.org and learn about its mission, the women that have been helped, how each one is screened, and about their Restore You program. A car donation is an easy way to make a difference in the lives of others. God's Garage needs good operating vehicles, but will take all types in working and non-working condition. Make your heart and soul feel good by donating your gently used vehicle and help support single mothers, widows, and wives of deployed military at godsgarage.org.
Mecum Auctions, the world's largest collector car auction company, returns to Houston, Texas, April 4th through the 6th at NRG Center, featuring 1,000 muscle cars, Corvettes, trucks, customs, and more. Broadcast on Motor Trend TV and streaming live on Max. From avid collectors to those new to the Mecum experience, we welcome everyone. Register to bid now at Mecum.com.
Welcome back to the In Wheel Time Car Talk Show on our live edition here on Saturday morning.
All right.
If you'd like to get in touch with us, shoot us an email. The address here is info@inwheeltime.com.
You know,
how to become a stunt driver.
Okay. How do you do that? We're going to get here loaded up in just a second. But to that point with your with info in Wheel Time, Mike and I are trying to coordinate the folks that subscribe so we can get them announced on the air. But we're going to work on that. So if you're a new subscriber, send in your information, and we'll give you
and
we'll give you a
sell,
howdy.
Yeah, and we won't sell your stuff to some politician or anything like that. This is
just the guy down on the corner.
That's right. So we're going to do it between ourselves. All right. Time now for this hour's feature. Mr. Jeffrey Zekin has How to Become a Stunt Driver.
Well, there's several ways, but the one I picked out here, there's several schools. There's actually one here in Houston. We'll get to that in a bit. But one that I looked at was the Bobby Orr Stunt Driving School. It stands out for its extensive educational offerings. They prioritize having the most seat time. So if you're in there and you want to get seat time and you really, really want to learn, Bobby Orr Stunt Driving School is one of the top ones. There's many
you
others.
have to pay to get in this?
You do. I'm sure there's other ways of – there's other schools have different prices for doing this, and you can do different things. You can do certain racing techniques. You can do stunt driving to jumps and things, but this is how it works. You get in there, and you have to have a vehicle prepared so the participants will gain knowledge about preparing a vehicle and setting it up just to do those particular stunts they want to do. Specialized skills. The curriculum, now Mike, this is for you. The curriculum is focused on specialized skills, includes the mastery and refinement of 180-degree turns, sliding 90-degree turns, and spot-on 180-degree reverse turns.
You know all about that because you've had your way with those on-ramp acceleration tests that got out of control.
A school would be good because I tried doing some of that before. And
He
just
did that on the way here this morning.
It's not one of those things you can learn real well on your own.
No, because you're usually in some sort of a panic trying to get out of it.
Well,
exactly.
From novice to professionals, they can take anyone in there and they'll teach you all the same way. So on day one of stunt driving school, comprehensive safety standards. They briefing to prepare the vehicle. You'll unlearn bad habits on the first day, and they try to help you do that. They try to, one hand on the wheel, two hands on the wheel. They offer you that schooling.
Well, there's Mr. Mars right there.
There you go. There's
got
one
it on
for
its
him.
nose.
There's one for him. Let's go ahead and put that on there.
There it is. I was looking for that.
Day 2 of stunt driving school, they will design courses for the individual. If you're looking for something in particular, you can tell them and they'll design the course for it. You can learn or refine the driving skills that they offer you. It's a very comprehensive program, and they'll go A to Z, soup to nuts on everything you want to do. Systematically work with breaking the bad habits as they do on the day 1, and they'll introduce some advanced techniques, enabling you to execute the safe way to do some of these stunts. So on day 3, stunt driving schools are tailored for individuals who crave extensive hands-on experience. So if you want to learn how to do jumps, they focus on that. If you want to slides or reverse slides,
I want to be in the car
that.
when they do one of those explosion things.
Oh, no, I wouldn't. No. Sometimes those are without people in them, but, go to the school and find out. They could blow you up. Let's get blowed up. After completing the initial course, then they'll get with the precision timing, and they'll look at what you want to do, and then they'll hone those techniques for the drifting techniques, both front wheel and rear wheel drive. So they'll give you a brief recap, and then they'll tell you whether you're worth going ahead and doing it if you want to get more. So some of the driving schools, and of course, John is probably at one right now with the
Barber.
Right, the Barber. But you've got Bondurant School of High Performance Driving in Chandler, Arizona. They do that. Skip Barber School in New Jersey and in Houston. They do that. Allenberg Racing Schools in Canada. Team O'Neill Rally School in Dalto, New Jersey, and of course the Bertha Benz Racing School in Palm Beach and in Pocono. So any one of those, you can satisfy your need for speed, become a stunt driver, and someday you might be doing it. And it's for men and women, for novice, and all that good stuff.
Or get to know one of those stunt drivers out in Hollywood and go by word of mouth. Oh, Jeff Zekin with the Jeff Zekin Stunt Driving Academy. He sent me. Oh, okay. Well, we'll get you right in.
He knows Mike Mars, so you're in.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, today's In a Mill Time Car Talk Show is sponsored by the group of original Loopy Tortilla restaurants in Houston, Beaumont, and College Station, Gulf Coast Auto Shield, and Pro-Am Auto Accessories. We continue here on In Wheel Time right after this quick break.
The original group of Loopy Tortilla restaurants will have you telling your family and friends just what the original recipes mean when it comes to the best fajitas in Southeast Texas. Founder Stan Holt invites you to visit the original Loopy Tortilla near I-10 and Highway 6. Here's the original house that inspired the design of all the rest and the original charm that helped make Loopy Tortilla the go-to destination for Houston Tex-Mex. Speaking of original, nothing can compete with the original lime pepper marinade that everyone will agree makes Loopy Tortilla award-winning beef fajitas the best anywhere. Loopy Tortilla Katy is another location that gives you the same quality and service Houstonians have come to expect at Loopy's. It's located just off I-10 and the Grand Parkway at Kingsland Boulevard in Katy. Find yourself in Aggie Land? Head to the Loopy Tortilla in College Station, located just around the corner from Kyle Field. It's a great place to enjoy those famous frozen margaritas before or after the game. Headed east to Louisiana, stop in at the Loopy Tortilla in Beaumont. It too's on I-10. You can't miss it. The original group of Loopy Tortilla restaurants invites you in for the best Tex-Mex anywhere. You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning, 8 to 11 a.m. Central on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.